Burner account for somewhat obvious reasons. 3 nights ago, I 32 male got a DM from my ex 32 female suggesting we get a drink after 5 years of essentially zero contact. I reluctantly agreed, and we ended up having an incredible night. My mind has been spinning like a top since then. Maybe I'm looking for advice. Maybe I just need to get this off my chest. I don't know, but I apologize in advance for the novel below. I'll try and keep it succinct, but here's the gist. Our 2-plus-year relationship was beyond intense. Both highs and lows, the best of times and the worst of times. I became an asshole. She treated me like shit. We were two very different people with very different goals, needs in life. And for some reason 2 people were never more drawn together. Then she broke up with me over text message. We blocked each other. And I found out she got married about 6 months later. Took me a lot longer than that to get my head back on straight, and I'm not sure I've ever really been the same. I've dated here and there, but no real serious relationships since then. I am in no rush to get in deep with anyone. I've got a lot of other stuff to focus on in my life. And as we all know, it's just fucking hard. For the most part, I have no problem with it. I have great friends and family, and a job and hobbies that take way too much of my energy already. But I do often long for that intimacy. As soon as we started to catch up at the bar, I knew I was done for. That connection was back. That connection I haven't felt with anyone else in many years. Fuck. She reluctantly tells me how her marriage has completely gone to shit, how they want different things in life, how they barely even talk anymore. Good, you deserve it. She tells me how she's sorry for everything, how she's never stopped loving me. I say thanks as my stomach flips. As the formalities drop, our old chemistry is back immediately. And it feels so amazing. The jokes are flying and all the intimate knowledge and memories flood back. No one has ever known the real me this well. I try to keep my distance, try to stay cool, but legs grazing lead to hands on thighs lead to fingers and hair, and I'm hooked. No amount of uncommitted sex has ever felt as good as this. At bar close, we decide to walk to the lakefront. Neither of us want this to end. Do you remember the way we used to hold hands? Of course I do. We find a spot and hold each other while we listen to the waves crash for what feels like hours. We share a kiss, and another. Without any discussion, we both are drawn to walk back to my house. Cuddling on the couch leads to sleeping in my bed, and while we came close, we didn't really do anything sexual. That would be too much. I couldn't sleep a wink as holding her just felt too good, and my mind was racing like never before. She still smells the same, feels the same. Even if we've both added a few pounds, those pounds feel comfortable. She always loved my belly. We've laid in bed and it's time for her to go, back to her new home a couple hours away. Won't your husband wonder where you were? He doesn't ask me about anything anymore. I walk her to her car with no plan for another reunion, but we both know it's not over. It doesn't take long for texts with inside jokes to start popping up. So I ask you, fellow 30-something love travelers, am I a complete and total moron? This woman fucked me up for a very long time, and I have no delusions that she wouldn't do the same again in a heartbeat. Any jealousy issues I had in the past are confirmed by the fact that she's sleeping with her ex while still married. I know she's using me to fulfill the voids she has in her relationship, in herself. But what if I'm okay with that? What if I'm using her too? If we're both consenting adults, is this weird transactional relationship of using each other okay? How do I keep myself from being hurt again? Is there a way to reap the benefits of feeling loved and beautiful and intimate like I haven't in a long time, without taking on all the inevitable pain of a relationship I definitely can't and shouldn't have with a person I can't and shouldn't be with? Am I doomed to fuck myself up over and over and over again? Why can't I have a functional relationship for once? Why does this have to feel good? I worked long and hard to get over these feelings, and they all came flooding back over the course of one long night. Am I the piece of shit? She is a married woman, after all, married to the man she essentially left me for, in a loveless, dead-end marriage that hasn't been more than roommates in years. I don't owe him a thing. She's a grown-ass adult. She makes her own decisions. If it weren't me, I'm sure she'd find someone else. Just not quite like this. There is a less than zero chance of us getting back together in any traditional relationship ever again. But is there a greater than zero chance of forming anything that is positive in the long run? My ex-wife, 28 female, wants to retry again with me after understanding what she wants, 32 male. I met my wife 8 years ago in Buffalo, 2007. She was 20 and I was 24. We got married 3 years later in 2010 and we separated 3 years later, 26 and 30 in 2013. The reason of the separation was that she cheated on me with her best friend and then another friend. When I found out, it took me by surprise because everything was good, so I asked her to leave. She went back to her parents' house and I stayed by myself in Buffalo for 2 months before moving to Anaheim for a new job. I wanted out of the city and away from her after that situation. Before moving, we didn't really talk. I tried a few times to ask her why did she do it when everything was good and she had no answer for me. After I left, We spoke a couple of times every few months because of feelings we still had, but it always ended within a day or two because of what she did. Eventually, she told me that she cheated because I wasn't paying enough attention to her despite weekly dinners, activities, etc. She knew I was working more than 40 hours a week while she stayed home or went to school, and I asked her why did she never bring this up in the past. She didn't know why. During the past 2 years, she was with several guys and tried to have another relationship. Nothing really worked out because no one was like me. Me, on the other hand, I have honestly completely shut down. I work and work as much as I can, mainly to stay busy and reduce my debt. A couple of weeks ago she contacted me again. We didn't speak all year since January, saying she wanted to talk to me, that she was hurt and would understand if I didn't. So I called her. She didn't have my number since me moving and I would use Skype. She told me her life in the past 2 years has been a mess. Beside going back to school, everything else is not good, and that she had a FWB relationship, but now she is pregnant because of it. She was getting an abortion and wanted to talk to me because I was always there for her. After talking for a little bit, she tells me that since this happened, it made her really reflect on herself. She felt she hit the bottom of the barrel and decided to cut all the guys that she had on and off things with expect one. She also said she regretted doing what she did to me. She knows it must have been really bad on me. She regrets not being more open and communicated the issues with me. She then asked me if I could come support her for the abortion in 6 days. I told her I can't come because of my job. She understood. I spoke to her on the phone for a few days after that because, well, she was my wife and I still care. She ended up having the abortion and it seems to have went fine. She asked me again to come see her because she knows what she wants now and wants to be a good person. She said I didn't deserve what happened and wants to see where things could go. Question: my job is more flexible with schedules, and flying from Anaheim to Buffalo for a week wouldn't be an issue for me beside using the money. My concern is that I can't figure out if this is a good thing or not. I can't make a rational decision because I still have feelings for her and all the positive things she brought, but at the same time, since cheating on me, she slept around, got pregnant and had an abortion, tried to have a relationship and nothing worked out. I can't tell if she genuinely really wants to make amends or if this is a temporary mental state until something else happens, or if the grass was maybe the greenest with me.